Boom. Hey! Here we go with another one of these special things. So, coming up this Thursday, or anyway, May 14th, will mark the 119th birthday of pinball designer Ted Zale, originally born Thaddeus Zalewski. But anyway, he changed that. There's some fantastic material online about his early life and where he got into. But I think for me, I really want to just kind of give a highlight introduction to people so you can be aware of who Ted Zale was and why he matters for pinball. So my first thing I'm going to do is actually not a Ted Zale game. I'm going way back in time to 1932. So this is Ballyhoo. This is where Bally got their name from. Now I had to go and dig this up. This is actually Visual Pinball 5. From 2002. So this is an 18-year-old reproduction of 90 or 88-year-old game. Bally made over 50,000 of these. So this is a big thing. And you could play this, as it said, 7 balls for 1 cent. So you would pay your penny and you get your score. And of course, people being who they are would gamble on this thing. So there's my 200 points. I got the Bally Hall. So the Bally Hall's worth $1,000 right there. That's your, other than getting a free play, that Bally Hall up the top is your big points. So, not easy to hit. The 250 is fairly common to hit. I have seen one of these in real life. So it's kind of neat to see the origins of where pinball came from. Oh, I got a free game. That's kind of cool. So, but yeah. So by modern standards, this is really no big deal, but there's no buzzers, there's no bells, there's no digit counters. You're just kind of trying to get your score and play your 7 balls. Okay, and that's it. So that's Ballyhoo. And realistically, this would be Bally's last significant contribution to pinball until Ted Zale joins in 1963. So we're talking over 30 years went by with Bally being in existence. They were making their slot machines and the baffle balls, but for pinball, they did make a few pinball as well, but there wasn't anything notable. So anyway, that's Ballyhoo. Now, I would like to be able to show Moonshot. Moonshot is, if you look here in the back glass, that little banner I've done, that was Ted Zale's first pinball game. Prior to that, he'd worked on some of those old school arcade gun games, and had a bit of history working there. But he really came into Bally 1963 and said, "Look, here's how we can make pinball machines again." And he basically ripped off Gottlieb's Tropical Isle. Now, what I would have liked to have been able to do is to say, okay, here's Tropical Isle, here's Moonshot side by side. They haven't been reproduced yet. I would like to get there eventually, but I think it's important to know Moonshot was his first, and it really was a ripoff of a Gottlieb game. So, what am I going to jump to? Cross Country, I think, is the first one that I actually have. Let me double. I didn't prep well enough. I really should have had more prep time for this. But, this is... Did I not find Cross Country? I did not find Cross Country. I thought I had a list, and apparently I did not. So I'm going to jump ahead to Starjet, which was just recently re-released again for Visual Pinball 10. So this is going to be pretty fun. Let me change that view again. I got to remember to switch back, otherwise, so the rotation on the screen. So you're saying Starjet. Cool. So this is... So Cross Country was his first game, which I could have sworn I had a copy of somewhere. I'll have to go digging again. But Cross Country had the gate down here to return the ball, kind of giving people a free ball. So instead of going to the out lane, it would go to the outside. You're going to see a lot of that coming up in future games. It's still used with a lot of games these days, where you've got a gate that diverts the ball back into the plunger lane. Starjet is really cool. This was Ted Zale's introduction of the 3-ball multi-ball. There'd been multi-ball things before, and a lot of the older games you could literally just keep pumping the balls in and play them all at once. But this is like a by design multi-ball that is kind of an in-play reward. And so this was a push rod feed, so you could plunge. Oh, and it doesn't let me plunge again right now. So I've locked ball 2. Now ball 1's a little harder to hit. Let's see if this is where the skill shot comes in. Ted Zale is definitely an advocate for the skill shot. Being able to put the ball where you want on the plunge is a significant part of a Ted Zale game. Now, having said that, you may ask, well, how many games did he make? I mean, why have I not heard of Ted Zale before? Well, Ted Zale made pinball machines from 1963. He technically only worked until 1970 when he retired. Oh, we'll get back to that later. Hey, there's my multi-ball. So I got the 2-ball multi-ball going. And out. So not bad. That's actually pretty decent gameplay. So, yeah, get this. So Ted Zale, 1963, had some experience with making gun games, but really that was about it. Somehow manages to land the gig as lead designer for Bally. And this guy's in charge of all of the design for all of Bally's pinball games. And he's 61 years old. So you want to talk about a career change. Or actually, no, he was born in, so he would have been 62. But I mean, this is really an age where most people are thinking about retiring. What are they going to be doing with their golden years? And Ted's like, you know what? I'm going to be the man at Bally for pinball. And I will say from the era that I actually prefer the Gottlieb games. I'm doing a special about somebody who I have a great admiration for, and then I pull the dick move to say, oh yeah, but as much as he innovated and changed things and amazes me as a person, I still prefer the Gottlieb games. So anyway, not the nicest thing to say. But yeah. So Starjet, how cool. And it's a 2-player game too. It alternates the score. You can, let's see if it'll, yep. So I've got the 2-player. So now I'll play the player 1. See how I can do. So absolutely, you could steal the ball from the other player. which, again, for a competitive game, makes for a lot of fun. Especially if somebody, you get some equally skilled players. Okay, do I get it in there? Oh, I just missed it. Oh, okay. So let's see if I can lock up a ball for player 2. So now it's player 2's turn. Okay. And the cool thing, I mean, you got to remember, this is one of the games that Ted Zale released in his first year at Bally, 1963. I don't know if I said this, but in his decade where he was in charge of design at Bally, 3-ball multi-ball, there we go. The man made, or is credited with, I should say, 70 pinball machines. That's an average of one pinball machine every 45 days. That's just nuts. Okay, ball 2. Let's see how we do here. If I make that skill shot, no. I would love to see, the modern design teams. It's like, okay, guys, here we go. We're going to do a production run of 3,000 units, 2,000 units, whatever. And you've got a month and a half to come up with a complete design. Now, it's true. The design, the game depth isn't here. You don't have all the solid state programming to deal with. It's, and they could reuse a lot of the circuit design, but they still had to do the artwork. They still had to make the games unique enough that they didn't feel like you're just regurgitating the same thing over and over again. And as you'll see with some of the games I start to show, Zale did not sit back and phone it in. I mean, the man absolutely was a machine. As I've already pointed out, he's pretty much introduced the 3-ball multi-ball here. I mean, that's not something anybody else had done before. The diverter for the free ball and the outlane. I love that feature. It's always exciting to get that skill shot back again. Okay, 2 balls locked. Let's get another 3-ball multi-ball going here. Okay, I've got to get ball 2 launched, which, so ball 2 can be launched by hitting either the center target or either that trigger or the trigger above it. And get to shoot again. Nice. Okay. So I'm just going to wrap up this game of Starjet. Ball 5, player 1 is clearly not the winner. So let's see what kind of score I can wrap up with player 2 here. Getting that ball unlocked would be a good start, but that's not going to happen. So then the ball stays locked for the next game. So whoever comes along next is going to get the benefit of having an extra ball locked already and carry on with their game. Anyway, Starjet, 1963. 62-year-old man, one of the first games he's designed. Truly awesome for the time. Grand Tour. So, I've got to do here. So I go to here, because I think Grand Tour. Okay, so there's some of these games I have that are back from Visual Pinball 9 or even older. So Grand Tour, here, let me rotate that around. So why is Grand Tour important? Why would I bother showing something on this whole thing? Well, because this is the first game that had his butterfly rollovers. It's hard to see, but if you look at the circle in the center of the playfield, the little 50 point when lit, those are unique little... Okay, let's play it and see what kind of... Okay, so keep in mind, I'm playing this rotated at a 90-degree angle. It's a little weird. Oh, and you'll note those mushrooms at the front of the playfield. You're going to see a lot of those in the Ted Zale games. I mean, those are his patented scoring items. I miss the old mushrooms. I think that they're a really cool target to hit in pinball. Oh, man. This 90-degree rotation makes it really difficult to play. And he also used... Oh, look at that. That's so fun. I love shooting the inner orbit. I mean, they're just like, yeah, come on. Crank that again. Open the gate. And you can see the gate down here to the side of the plunger as well. So that's, again, one of Ted Zale's signatures. I'm going to bring your attention to the layout. At this point, at this point, the playfield is still symmetrical, as most pinball machines were at this point. That's going to change. Look at that butterfly kicking around there. And another element. Oh, that's the whole game. Wow, that's a fun game. I should look into what it takes to convert that over to VPX, because I think that'd be something I'd like to play more often. Yeah, and again, this is still 1964. It gives us our short flippers, which when you think of a lot of these older pinball machines, a lot of them had the short flippers. What else? Also had those little rollovers, those little pill rollovers. That's another Ted Zale innovation. I just missed the shot. Ted Zale was also big on progressions for earning things. So, in this case, you got to hit all 4 of the pop bumpers, or the mushrooms, I should say, to get your free ball gate lit. Okay. And of course, it did not stay lit, which, oh well. What do you want? Free ball? And that's the Grand Tour. I don't think I've ever played one of these in real life, but if I get the chance, absolutely gonna jump at it. Huh. Oh, it is a 5-ball game. Why did I think it was only a 3-ball? Probably because my first game was over so fast. But this is one of those games where you're definitely left feeling, I can do better than that. And you want to play it again. And to me, that's the ideal design for a pinball game, is to say, how do you actually play it? Or how do you design it so that people want to come back and play it again and again and push themselves to do better? So Starjet. I see Wax is in the chat. Thank you for getting Starjet done in time for this. So Grand Tour. Fun Cruise. Now, Fun Cruise actually shouldn't have closed off. Did I save it open? Okay. So, Fun Cruise, I had to go all the way back to Visual Pinball 5 to get this. So this is as good as I can make it look for now. This game is significant in that it was the final flipperless pinball machine for Bally. So after this, all the other games had flippers. Now I think I can. Okay, so come on, what did I have to do to get this to play earlier? I couldn't even. So I got the plunger working. I don't even know how to get this started. What do we care? It's a flipperless game. We're not going to play it. I'm just going to show it. Like, look, that was Fun Cruise. So 1965, Bally said, you know what? We need flippers to make the games fun. So that's where Bally's involvement with flipperless pinball machines ended. Oh, yeah. Here we go. So 1965. I'm going to jump ahead. Why is this one significant? Anyway, I don't care if it's significant or not. It's just a fun game. So 1965 brought us Magic Circle, which I'll bring back Starjet again later because it is a fun game. And the feeds were brutal. It would feed down the middle more often than to the flippers. So definitely a challenge. Magic Circle. Here is where you start to see Ted Zale starting to push the asymmetrical design. Really cool layout again. Let's put some credits in there. And sweet. Oh, seriously? Okay. So he gives you a lit lane for your skill shot. There we go. So you want to be hitting those lit lanes when you can. You see the mushroom bumpers there in the midfield. Again, standards for Ted Zale. You've got the gate back to the plunger lane that you can enable. Come on. Still short flipper games here. These, again, were still pretty standard at the time. And they definitely do make the game difficult. Look at how huge that gap is. Oh yeah, and I should point out, part of the design of Ted Zale's mushroom bumpers is that he had some blocked off on the back side of them. So you don't get your nice lucky roll into them. You have to shoot them. Which is, pretty stuck. Yep, there you go. Oh yeah, getting the skill shots going. $9.95. That's decent. Almost rolled it. Let's see if I can do another one of these and then roll it. But I love the artwork on this. It's got like a Modesty Blaze kind of vibe to it. Oh, that should have registered. What's going on with those mushrooms? Huh. So, I had a nice strike on both the 1 and the 3, but they didn't trigger. Interesting. So, notably absent on this are the pill button rollovers. Now, you should get 50 points to hit that when it's lit. Right? So when you hit the mushroom, if the number is lit, you should get 50 points for that. You know, just like you get 10 points for those top lanes if they're not lit. Oh, there we go. That's sweet. Nowhere near as good as my first game. But, you know, then again, that's how pinball works, right? You know, it's like, you know, like I said, you want it to seem like you can do better. You can, you know, play it again, and your next game is going to be better than whatever you just did. You're like, oh, if I just do this one thing different, or... No, I just think it didn't register because of how I hit it. See, I got 50 coming off the side. And you'll notice that the lights in the center of the playfield are color coordinated with the mushrooms. So first you got to get the blue ones. Come on back, don't do that. That's a good way to lose the ball. The mushrooms are pretty good if you get them from the side. It's only the straight on I find that they... yeah, see, there's that good one, 50 points. And that one's not lit yet, so it doesn't do anything for me. And that left drain is brutal. Brutal left drain. My scores are going down each game. Back out the left. Awesome. Okay. And actually, I'm going to step away for just a moment, okay? I'll be right back. And I'm back. Sorry about that. So anyway, Magic Circle. 1964, or 65 actually. This is a prime example of a Ted Zale game. A lot of fun. Great game to play. Wild Wheels. Now, did I get Wild Wheels? I don't think Wild Wheels has a VPX game yet. I think that's one of the ones. Yeah, VP9. There we go. So this game is kind of neat because it put a score reel in the center of the playfield. Nobody done anything like that before. And Ted Zale says, you know what? New game every 45 days. Let's mix it up a bit. Let's put a score reel with our mushroom bumpers in the middle of the playfield. Okay. So, now we see the longer flippers in use here. I honestly don't know if that's realistic or not. I should check that out. It might be, because we're up to that era where we're starting to see the longer flippers. This is 1966. So, no plunger there. Let's get this going. There we go. Oh, misses the... And again, you can see the lit rollovers up there. That's a very typical Ted Zale thing. We've got our little pill rollovers here early. He also very much liked those rollovers, which I'm fond of them too. You've got a ancestor of that on the playfield of games on what was it? Wizard of Oz made good use of that. Granted, it's a slightly different button design, but still the idea is there. Huh. Interesting. I see scoring happening, but it doesn't... It's off register with the openings. So I'll only know if... Oh, there's my free ball gate. That's another, back to one of those Ted Zale things. This one is back to being a symmetrical playfield layout. Again, these are going to be less and less common as this special goes on. Stay in there. So now I've got my free ball gate open. Which, even though I've had it for a couple of the games, I don't think I've ever actually made use of it. Come on. Let me see if I can encourage the ball to go out there. There we go. Nice. One play for a dime, 3 plays for a quarter. What a bargain. Oh, that sounds like a free game. Another free game. Okay, let's see if I can light that again. Do I have to match different numbers? I don't know. Out it goes. I'm curious what my score is. What's funny is I can see the number briefly when it changes. So right now I want to match some numbers in that center wheel, so I should... there's a 3. Oh, ball out. What ball am I on? Is that ball 5 already? That was ball 5. But I set a high score, 2,673. Anyway, VP9, again, of note, is the score counter on the playfield. Again, innovating is pretty cool stuff at the time. So, okay, next up is Dogies. I like the Dogies. Come on, where are you? I just played it recently. Double, Domino, Dolly, Doctor. Oh, come on. Tell me I have Dogies. I was certain I had because we just had this one recently. And it was fun. There it is. Come on, get along, little doggy. Oh, that's right. I couldn't get the B2S working with this one. This was a tabletop version where it just wants the... let's see. This didn't have the option to enable B2S in it. Yeah. So it's all scripted. There's no controller for me to take over. We'll still take a quick little look at it. So I've been showing the different rollovers. He changed the design on the rollover, and you'll see it up in the top, the middle lane there. They are actually really small. They call them little pill. Okay. So I'll play a quick one with this. Again, back to the short flippers. I do think that the last game should have had short flippers. I'm not 100% certain on it, but... So, in addition to our little pill, we got our mushrooms. We've got the asymmetric game field. And, oh, of course, how could I forget? Zipper flippers. So, zipper flippers are another one of Ted Zale's innovations, which I think are some of the coolest things ever in pinball. I am absolutely a fan of zipper flipper games. But, yeah, so the button rollovers were actually fairly common in pinball. But the little pill is what I'm referencing in this game. That was Ted Zale innovation. He basically changed the rollover buttons a bit. Oh, yeah. Look at that. This is such a cool game. I'm going to have to see if I can straighten out the play field so that it works better for... oh, that's not cool. Did it give me the ball back at least? Okay, it gave me the ball back. Ball 4. Let's see how high I can take this. But I like the depiction of the cattleman getting run over here. Really, this is all about the cattle. It's one of those games where you don't get the bull gets you. So, anyway, Spiel aus. There is Doggies. So, what do I have up next? Oh, yeah, Joust. Now, most people are going to be familiar with Joust. from the Williams arcade game. Before that came around was an actual joust-themed medieval game, 1969. Now, for people who aren't paying attention, we are well past the halfway mark in Ted Zale's career here. Again, we got our short flippers. We've got an asymmetric layout. We've got button rollovers. We've got mushrooms. We've got a cool skill shot up at the beginning. This has all the earmarks of a Ted Zale game. So, and I just played this a couple weeks ago. I really like this game. Notice I did not make the skill shot, but I do have zipper flippers closed. Oh, oh, that's one of the downsides with zipper flippers. That would happen on the real games too. Is it would get caught up behind the joint of where the flipper meets the bumper, and then you'd have to flip and you'd get out. It was a kind of cruddy way to go. I have yet to hit that skill shot. There we go. But I love the waterfall action. And the risk of just going for those gates. Come on. Give me the saucer. There we go. We'll call that a skill shot. And again, this is a 2-player game. So, you know, competing is fun. Oh yeah, no, you're absolutely right. That is the real gap. Getting the ball hung up on the gap between the flipper and the sling is a real challenge, and flipping will frequently send it back out the out lane. So you've got to have just the right touch to not drain. So Joust, 1969. Just a cool game. Now the other thing... Okay, that can't be right. Okay. So I'm just looking at the name, and if you... So... This technically is post-retirement for Zale. Again, the guy is now 68 years old, still cranking out a game every month and a half. And Jim Patla was originally working below him, went on to design a number of great games. I'll eventually do a special on Patla. This is a game that Patla is credited with, but when asked... Patla says, yeah, this was one of the designs that was sent in by Zale, and really, it's even though the finishing touches were all assembled by Patla, it is a Zale game through and through. So the next few games are also going to be Patla released, or actually in the one of the other games is a who else do I have here? Oh. Where is it? My notes are horrible. I really should make better notes. I should prepare better for this too. Anyway, I will get back to it. So this is Joust. You'll see Patla's name on it, but you can just see looking at the game how it is a Zale design. So back to, where did it go? Oh, I don't actually have it, do I? Or do I? Let me check something. You're like, Joe, you're mumbling to yourself. I'm like, yeah, I am, because I'm not prepared and I'm doing this all on the fly. Now, one of the things I'm going to say is, if you want to know more, there is a ton of information about Ted Zale and his life available online. The people have done... That's not the ballyhoo I want. Okay. So there's the original ballyhoo, where Bally got its name from. And then ballyhoo, 1969, is a return to that by Zale. You can see the long flippers here, button rollovers, no mushrooms, no gate to save the ball. Yeah, I take that back. There's a mushroom. Okay, I was like, why is there no mushroom? But he's got the extra ball lane there at the side. I love the back glass on this. Okay. So it's interesting because there is a retrospective posted online. Hey, I got my extra ball. Cool. So there's like I said, there's a really good story tells the tale of Ted Zale's life. And if you go into the comments section, at the bottom of that, you can see a comment from Steve Ritchie. Yeah. And Steve Ritchie comes right out and says that Ted Zale is one of the designers who absolutely influenced his game designs. Unfortunately, Zale passed before Ritchie ever had a chance to meet him. But I missed the 10 times bonus on that. Oh well. Okay, so I got the 10-10 bonus lit. That'll be worth 300 points there. And that's really where your points are. You want to advance your bonus and then score the 10 times bonus. Oh, I did not have the kicker on. So not bad. 1,800 for ball one. That's actually a pretty substantial score. Kickback is there. Sends it over to the extra ball gap. Beautiful. Turn the red bumper on now. Up the post. This seems to have a little more action than I remember the real thing having. Not that I'm going to complain. It's still a fun game to play. So I still... It kind of sticks in my head to think all of these games were designed by somebody who entered pinball after he was more than 60 years old. I mean, that's just It's so cool. Okay, let's see if I can get that 10 times bonus lit up again. Because right now, it would suck to get just 100 points for making... I just got it lit up again. See, and it's things like that where you're sitting playing, you get this plan, say, okay, I'm gonna get my bonus lit up all the way up to the 100 spot, and then I'm gonna hit the 10 times timer, get myself my 1,000 points, and that's huge points. 3904 is a solid game. You can see my best up there is 4611. I like that they keep track of that in the B2S here. But this is Ballyhoo. Any special notes on it? No notes for Ballyhoo. Just Ted Zale game. A lot of fun. So what do I have next? Four Queens. So this is another Pala game that apparently... So it came out in 1970, same year I was born. And so here, the Four Queens has the zipper flippers, which is fun. And you got your mushrooms. This one is a symmetrical playfield design. Well, mostly symmetrical. You got the captive ball up there, but really your pop bumpers there, the 3 lanes are just off to the side. So this is a pretty traditional pinball layout. This one's fun because you're chasing around the lit mushroom. And you want to get all 4 of your mushrooms lit in sequence. There we go. There's my zipper flippers. And it changes up to the C up there. Now it's over to the A. Okay, so I got one of them. Now I've got to hunt down the next flasher. I was almost there. This is from the Department of Not Very Realistic Physics. In the real game, that flipper would have struggled to put the ball up to the top. This is a bit supercharged. Still fun. So it was funny because while I was playing this, I was able to get all 4 of the mushrooms a couple times. So Four Queens, another Ted Zale classic. And again, I'm really just doing highlights here based on what people have recreated. There's some gravity there. It's I'm not sure what planet's gravity, but it's got some power. And again, the fact that I can play it at all is really astounding. These are fan recreations. Big Valley. Now, Big Valley, sadly, I've only got as Visual Pinball 9, but we can still play that. It's not like it's totally gone. I'm going to be playing at a 90-degree rotation here. So this is kind of neat because you've got your asymmetric playfield layout. Yep, you got your 4 pops in the center, but you got your Gold Canyon run on the right. Over on the left is a slightly different shot, longer flippers. And we're back to that multi-ball design that we saw with Starjet. So this, let's see if I can get myself a multi-ball here. Ah, so close. Oh, I know. Well, the thing is, you think of how often these games were being released and how many of them they made. You know, it's like there's a ton of them. And honestly, a lot of them play so similar to other games. It's hard picking which ones you'd want to have to work through, right? And what one person feels is important, somebody else, you know, I don't know. Like I said, I'm grateful for any chance I have just to even check these things out and see how they play. And I love this multi-ball design. It's so cool to have the ball trap there, right on the plunge at the top. In a 2-player game, you could, you know, actually this would allow up to 4 players. So I would absolutely want to play this with my buddies and say, go ahead, lock the ball, and take your turn. And now my job is to steal that locked ball. You know, and thank my buddies, like, hey, you know, Ted, thanks for letting me steal that locked ball from you. And of course, he'd get me back the next game. So yeah, Big Valley, 1970. Definitely a cool game. I like. I was counting on that post, and I forgot that I rolled right over that down button. Shot myself in the foot. Okay, so there's the ball lock. Let's do a lighter plunge. So I've got both balls locked. Let's see if I can get the 3-ball multi-ball going. I've got to get that gate up at the top. Oh, that's not how you get the gate. So this is my last chance for that 3-ball multi-ball. Okay, I got the post up. Oh, I did not get. And that only released one of them. Get up there. There we go. 3-ball multi-ball. And down to 1. Oh, ain't that the way it works? And you see how there's a gate to keep it from rolling up back, so you can't just, you know, put it on top of the pop bumper. You've really got to get that up and above, up to the top, and then down that lane. Yeah, where's your auto launcher now, huh? Oh, I totally botched that. 36,000 points. That's not bad. Especially considering I'm playing this rotated 90 degrees. So, anyway, Big Valley. Nice to get that I'll have to look into what it takes to convert a VP9 game into a VPX game, because that's a lot of fun. So Big Valley brings us up to 4 million BC, which I think I have under the letter F. Firepower, fish tails, 4 million BC. So back to VPX. So, again, this is another one. When a lot of people think of asymmetric games, zipper flippers, this is one of the classics. This is one. The skill shot alone is brilliant in this design. Let's see how I do. Oh, not enough. But we've definitely got an asymmetric design here. We've got zipper flippers. We've got mushrooms. Oh, and a two-way gate, apparently. Okay, it is something that locks. There we go. Got one ball lock. Let's see, can I get that skill shot? Oh, so close to the skill shot. Okay. It's not bad for ball one. Let's get that. So, the real trick to this game is getting that skill shot dialed in. As you can see, coming off of the skill shot, if you go too hard, you end up pretty much draining every time. So you definitely would rather be too soft than too hard on that skill shot. Okay. Auto plunger, so kind of neat. Ball save feature. Oh, it did not give me the ball save. Okay. There we go. I thought I had the kicker on. And again, getting back out that gate's not a bad thing. You get another shot at the skill shot. Too hard there. Oh. So what you want to do is you want to get it to go up past all of those rollover switches and then just past the edge. That's 3,000 points per skill shot once you get that sorted out. Let's do that again. I love 4 million BC. Okay, so I was almost there on the 3,000 points. I had it lit, but let's go a little bit harder. That's not hard enough. Whew, this is a brutal game. Yeah, I know. I've still got that ball locked there. Okay. Oh, it was so close. And here it's going to come back down. And done. So if I had my nudge sensor sorted properly, what I would be doing is, as it came off of the edge of that bumper, give a little kick just to adjust the trajectory. There we go. That's what I want to see. So close. Last ball. Yeah, dog. Ball kick on. And the ball pit is our tar pit ball. That's what that advance is up there. That is your tar pit. Let's see if I can get back into it. Ah, so close. And oh, I'm not out. Good. Nope. Come on. And still in. Nice. I was literally about to use that, and the other ball rolled over the zipper switch. Another chance at the skill shot. Nope, not there. Something just so close. It's the tightest of openings to get that. So back in the tar pit. Now I've got to hit the mushroom to advance the ball up the tar pit, but this is not going to end well. There it goes, ball out. And that is 26,000 points on 4 million BC. Which you can see 50,000 is kind of where the defaults are. So that was not a great game. I mean, it's fun, but I'm not going to win any tournaments with a score like that. So 4 million BC. Vampire. Did I find Vampire? I think I did. Okay, so I found Vampire on VP9. This one's a kind of crazy game. I mean, the artwork on this is, again, VP9, 1971 pinball. This is another one of the ones that Zale mailed in, and Pala got it out the door. Again, you know, every 45 days, you've got a new game. So I don't see a mushroom on this. It is vaguely... it's a little asymmetrical. It's mostly a symmetrical game. This is... I don't think... Oh, ball trails. Fun. Yeah. It's amazing how far pinball simulations come in the last few years. And you know what? I'm still grateful to have this available to play. Honestly, this is one of those games that nobody should be in a great rush to reproduce. It doesn't stand out much other than the fact that it shows late career Ted Zale, and the fact that not every one of his games was awesome. You guys are all like, okay, Joe, that's enough of a vampire. We get it. Bally game. You know, not all the Bally's were awesome and not always innovating, but you should bring out the headline attraction here. Because, I mean, really, when most people think about Ted Zale, they think about one of his most famous end-of-career games, where he brought in one more innovation. Anybody have an idea what that last great innovation was at the end of his career? Everybody should know this thing. 1971, Fireball, where Ted Zale brings in the spinning disc. Now you can see the same sort of skill shot that we had with 4 million BC, where it goes up over the switches, and you really want it to come back down on inside the gate. Actually, this one comes back onto the gate. Let's see if I can do it. But here we've got zipper flippers, we've got a cool skill shot, asymmetric ball design, mushrooms, rollovers, and now a spinning disc. This you know, if this is the way to end a career, this is it. This is the way you want to be remembered. You know, say my last game, or one of my last games, also one of my best, Fireball. What a ball buster this is. Ah, it's so close. Oh, that's the spinner. Oh, okay. The spinner is a bit more grippy than the real ones are. In real life, it definitely did influence ball travel, but I don't think quite as much as it does here. That kick, I guess the kicker's not on. I am going to hit that skill shot. That's... So, I mean, this has got a 3-ball multi-ball available. There's so much going on with this game. And it looks like such a simple playfield. It doesn't look like there's... Really? That was my whole game? Yeah, so you can have a 1-ball multi-ball or a 3-ball multi-ball. Skill shot. There we go. Let's see if I can get the ball lock. Oh, that is later than I thought it was. Okay. So, having played this in tournaments, I will say that if you can get the skill shot dialed in and you know, just hit that every ball, then you're probably going to score in the top half of the playfield just by doing that. Because it is hard to build up score on this game, especially when that skill shot's worth $3,000 all by itself. Out we go. So again, I've plugged Gamma Goat before. He lives nearby. He's got a Fireball in his collection, and it's a lot of fun getting to go over there and play it in person. And Ian kicks my ass. He is a better pinball player than me. I've had the odd time I beat him where I'm like, yeah, but I feel that's more luck or him having an off day or me having a particularly on day. Oh, there we go. So I've got 2 more games here that I'm really going to show off. But Fireball, I mean, this is Ted Zale's swan song. all of those other elements came together for this one perfect game where he also introduced the spinning disc. Truly one of the all-time great games. The artwork was spot on. It was just fun to play. I'm going to do this to you guys. I'm going to do one more VP9. Oh, and I don't have the B2S for this. I went looking for it. I couldn't find it. I thought I had it. This is actually really good looking for a VP9 game. This had the Balligator, which is a kind of cool ball catch mechanism back up there. Let's see if I can play it and get the ball into the Balligator. Oh, there's no plunger support on this. That's okay. VP9. Again, this is a really nice looking reproduction for VP9. Again, we got our rollovers, we got a mushroom in the middle, we got zipper flippers. I'm actually really surprised that nobody's translated this to VPX yet. This one is, as far as I know, considered another one of those classics. And it looks like we got some good solid resources for it to work with. Maybe this will be what I cut my teeth on. Because I feel like I should give back more than just my stream and discussion of me playing pinball. I should learn how this stuff works. Come on, I'm not getting anywhere near the Balligator. The Balligator. So there's my zipper flippers engaged. And ball out. You know what? He could be waiting for one of those Christmas specials again. Remember last year at Christmas where he just did like 100 games? It felt like 100 games all at once. And when people say it's just like Christmas, yeah, it was just like Christmas. It was awesome. And he does a good job on these things too. They play right. You spend more time adjusting them than I do, but I know right out of the box I prefer playing his reproductions to a lot of the others. I keep going for that plunger. So now I need to hit one of those yellow shots at the top to release the captive ball. I need to keep the ball in play. Anyway, there's no DMD. I don't even know what ball I'm on. I guess that's the game. Okay. So that's Nippet. We'll definitely mention if that comes up to Visual Pinball 10, but I haven't seen it reproduced anywhere else. And then the last one I'm going to bring up. So the last one I'm going to bring up is Rogo. Now, if you look, this one, 1974, it's actually released after the passing of Ted Zale. Look at that artwork. Oh, disco, here we come. Yeah. But this one's credited to Greg Kmek, who has done a lot of great games as well. But in an interview, he said this is one of the scripts that he was handed, one of the designs of Zale's that he was handed to work on. So, even though it is a Kmek worked on game, the design credit has been given to Zale posthumously. And again, we got our mushroom, It's an interesting layout. There's a lot of dead space and things to shoot at here. Not sure I'd consider this one of the greats, but it is nice to see that people were still giving him credit for his work even after he passed. Out we go. So, and there's other things that Zale is also credited with. 50-volt coils and standardized parts. Apparently, before he came in, the games were all over the place. Whatever people could source at a time, they would use. And he's like, you know what? Let's try to get the same parts, make them interchangeable. It's going to make servicing them better, make it easier to build. We're going to have less troubleshooting. So, that's definitely something that Zale has also been credited with. And let's see, what else can I talk about? If you look at my banner there, you'll see Hootenanny is listed. Hootenanny was the first game that had the active free ball gate that let the ball go back to the plunger. So that's another one of his first. Big Day, which sadly I couldn't find one of the Big Day. You can see it at the far right. That was really the first one where he switched over to he started introducing the asymmetric playfield layouts. That's pretty cool stuff. Six Sticks was a hockey-themed game that did 6 players. Super. I think I've actually got the back glass for that. Yeah. So I was able to find the back glass. So there's Valley's 6 Sticks back glass. That would be kind of fun. A lot of people like to say, hey, what's your only 6-player game? They say, oh, $6 Million Man, right? 6-player game with $6 Million Man. A lot of people forget 6 Sticks was around and also a 6-player game. So that one's a good one to be aware of. How do I get out of this now? I guess I can't. I have to do that and that. There we go. That's gone. What other goodies do I have in my notes? Like I said, I wrote up like a page and a bit of notes, mostly copied off of things I found on the internet. You can find all this on the internet as well. But, hey, I'm putting it together, doing my stream. I'm trying to raise awareness. Approaching Ted Zale's 118th birthday. Or 119th birthday. He would have been 118 right now, and on the 14th turning 119. He also did Loop the Loop in 66, which apparently had a non-standard ball launch. I was looking for pictures of that, couldn't find one. I'll have to do that. Bazaar, which you see up at the top on the left, anyway, on my banner at the left, there's the back glass for Bazaar. That was his first game that had the zipper flippers. So that was 1966, where, he used it, and Williams outright stole the design for the zipper flipper. Daffy and Student Prince were not Ted Zale games, not Bally games, but they happily took advantage of what Zale had developed. Let's see. Yeah. So anyway, and there was a beta game called Bullseye, which apparently they made 80 of them, but I haven't been able to find any photos of it. If anybody runs across Bullseye, that would be awesome. You know what? I'm going to keep things kind of short and to the point tonight. So that was my introduction to Ted Zale. There's a lot more. Like I said, the guy did 70 games. I didn't even scratch a quarter of those. definitely, I'll be pointing out his games in the future as I come across them. Was it Safecracker? I think. Oh, that's 96, not. Yeah. So if you see a 60s Bally game, take a look for it. Say, okay, is this asymmetric? Does it, look at the mushroom caps, look at the rollovers, look at the free ball gate. Enjoy what you've seen with the designs of Ted Zale, and see how he's influenced other games later. Who else has done asymmetric playfields, and how have the games developed over time, and how much do we owe back to this great innovator of the 60s? Anyway, I'm rambling. Thanks for tuning in. Hope everybody stays healthy. Keep on flipping, and we'll be back again sometime with another stream.